Raza and I went so long at the conclusion of the NFL DraftKings pick show, we finally veered into PGA stuff because we both love to talk about PGA. So I cut this part out for people who maybe don't care about football and care about golf or vice versa. It's a very brief conversation. We talk about the Shotlink problems, data feed problems. I show off some of the new tools at Fantasy National that Mike is working on. They're not live yet. I'm still beta testing them to make sure that they actually work and that they're fast. And Mike is working on the site while I'm going through some things. But you can get a sense of what the new site is going to look like and some of the different features that are coming along that way. FantasyNational.com/Mayo. As always, I'll have my research show coming out either on Saturday evening or on Sunday morning. So you may as well get in now, and hopefully, you can use the tools to your advantage and win some money. All right, let's get to it.
Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Oh yeah, when you see the train of like the last place lineups, you'll know that there are lineups. That's always how it goes, though. I've had a good couple of weeks on DraftKings, so I'm due to. I looked at round one of American Express, although I have no idea if that.
I always joke about this, not to turn this into a golf show.
No, listen, we're done football. People want to tune out for football. We're going to talk about golf scoring. If you just want to skip ahead on the audio podcast and get to me, Pete, and Brick, you can do that as well. It's all time-coded, people. You can figure this part out. But this was a fucking travesty. I'll probably cut this into a shorter type show. That's it. Now I get 2 videos out of it. Genius, Raza. Genius as we go through this. But I can't believe Shot Tracker was so bad. Like this is what I expect from the Corn Ferry Tour in Bahamas.
At one point, Grayson had back-to-back albatrosses on the same hole in Shot Tracker. He made an albatross on the 5th, and then he played the 5th again and did it again. There were Fuzzy Dunlop was like winning at one point. There were so many made-up players at the top, truly made-up guys. Like I don't know where these guys came from. Were these real players?
They were. One of the guys,
Jimmy Stanger. Who the hell's Jimmy Stanger?
No, I thought his name was this. Oh, is his name Stanger? I thought it was Stranger, and I was about to make like Stranger jokes about him.
Maybe it is. I know he went to Virginia because I had to look at this yesterday. Rico Huey, Uncle Rico.
Is it Huey or Huey? Which I would much prefer Huey.
These guys, and then Norin, who's just there.
Norin might as well be like a Euro creative player.
Yeah, it's just
Bjork was up there too.
I saw that. I saw Bjork up there. I tried to play Semi Kawa. Did not work.
No. Who did I
not
play
work.
That sucked? I bet Wyndham Clark and he was bad.
Who'd you use in one and done?
I have 2. I use Burns and I use Bhatia.
I'm in 1 week, but I am in first in your one and done. Yeah, I had Keegan.
You had Grayson?
Yeah. I was the one person who had Grayson. I had Keegan outright. It's just
how many people are tied for first? Like what?
It's a lot.
What are you currently winning? Because you'd win 80K if it was just you, but now it's split between everyone who had Ann and everyone who had Keegan Bradley. What's the number?
I think it was like around $2,000. I want to say.
Okay, so like everyone had those 2 guys.
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah. Literally 0 people had Grayson. Obviously,
you guys have at Stokastic. You guys have like a golf projection product, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Do you guys pull in like strokes gain data and all that stuff, like Pay the Tour? The Tour has fucked up the data the past 2 weeks.
So I was going to ask you about this. I've noticed that. I've noticed some like weird. I'm like crafting my little jackass tweets, and I'm like, did this guy gain 8 strokes putting, or am I just like making that up? And I've noticed a little of that.
Yeah, so I was on. Apparently, it's fixed now because we pulled in at Fantasy National, fantasynational.com/Mayo. As always, the walkthrough goes with it. Oh, Mike redesigned this. Can I show you this?
Please.
Mike has done a redesign, and I believe I don't know if it's gonna be live this week or next week. You can see. Oh, look at those brand new icons here. But he added this in like last second. There's more to go along with it. So you have this view, and you can also just like quickly go into card mode if you really need to know what these people look like. But because it has pictures, it takes longer to load. And everyone knows that I just like to kind of mess around with what's going on. Of course, Mike's probably working on it right now as I go through.
You're just
There we
breaking
go.
it.
So you can look at it in this view as well, and then it will like load in the tournament results, recent results, and then show a bar graph of all of these things.
Nice.
So I thought it was a pretty cool view because some people like to look at it this way instead. I mean, yeah, you can see you can go to tournament, or you can go to like their core. Basically, if you click on this, it goes to tournament history, or you click on it, goes to recent results. And for this bar graph, like this is past 24 rounds, but you can go like click on opportunities gained instead. And you can see how they like trend in that area as well over time.
Sick.
So yeah, it's a cool mode. Moose really likes that mode. I still like the spreadsheet mode because I'm a loser like that who likes to see what the actual numbers are. But there's a cool feature that we put in right now. So don't steal this in the next 3 days, please. Spike percentage. So I want to go past 50 rounds. And this is something I was thinking about for particularly DraftKings scoring, but maybe head-to-heads or showdown, something like this. It'd be the equivalent of like 90th percentile outcome, like when you're running projections anyway.
Yeah.
But spike percentage, you can set it to how many strokes per round you actually want to see. So I have like everything baked in right now of my American Express model. Let's just go to like regular strokes gained. That'll make everything easy. When we load that in. And now it keeps up like whatever your mixed condition model rank is at all times. It keeps in whatever your current model rank is at all times of the stuff that you're looking at. So you can sort them both if you want to and make it really easy to add. But spike percentage, because I just want to look at putting. Like who are the guys over the past 50 rounds? How many times do they gain over 2 strokes putting per round over the past 50 rounds? Scheffler, 2%. So that's fun. And the leaders are 33. I guess he only has 6 rounds. Taylor Montgomery.
Oh, Wilson Furr.
Sure. Isn't he up there this week?
Probably.
He is. He's
Probably.
-6 through 18 holes.
No problem.
Taylor Montgomery gains over 2 strokes putting per round 30% of the time.
Yeah, the cool thing about something like this is, you're going to get the Taylor Montgomerys because he's an amazing putter, but you'll find a couple guys
who
that
suck.
aren't the best putter. But when
Minwoo.
they get hot,
Minwoo,
crazy hot.
20%.
Yeah. That's super actionable. Oh, your boy
Toasty.
Your favorite Finn.
Oh, Wacky Valimaki?
Yeah, he's not playing well.
It would be funny to put this in. So you can I just want to try this out because I'm still kind of like beta testing it to make sure that everything works and doesn't work because it's not completely cleaned up yet. So maybe I shouldn't be just showing this on a show as we go through.
It's all deadly.
I'll go to strokes game putting and I'm going to add that from this. I want to see if that takes now. Nah, it doesn't. I'll talk to Moose about that because I want just the spike percentage in there. So if I can get spike percentage, but you can see like instead of having to name everything, it just shows you all your conditions now. If you want to go through it. But yeah, in terms of the spike, it'd be interesting to see spike percentage versus like actual strokes gained over that time. Because I think that you're right.
That's the key.
Who is a known shitty putter from this group? Oh, Pearson Cootie. There
Matt Wallace.
Is Matt Wallace bad?
I don't know. Never makes a putt. He hasn't made a putt when I've used him in the last 3 days.
Well, Matt Wallace is at 18% on this list, so he's like top 15. He's the same as Eric Cole, Hadwin, and all those guys. And I wonder if we just go to total or average, and we look up Wallace. And he's a slightly above average putter.
Typical.
Yeah, that's how it works. Anyway, I thought that was it's one of the things that I've really wanted to work on recently, and that's one of the tools that I think will come in handy. And being able to do that live, that becomes the hard part. Like we've been trying to do all this live stuff for a while, but harkening back to like the ShotLink data, like when you get the wrong ShotLink data from the source that you're legitimately paying into the 6 figures for in order to have on your site, and it's wrong. I get, like, if I was using a product and the stats were wrong, I'd be mad at the people like me who, like, help run the site. But there's nothing we can do. Moose had to go. They told us to go scrape data to get the right data, which we had to do.
Yeah, that's suspicious.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, what are we doing? Yeah, that's a...
So, with, like, almost to go back to the leaderboard, it might not be the PGA's fault that this is happening.
Somebody's fault.
It's somebody's fault, but it might not be the person that you think that it is. Like, the PGA isn't in charge of this. Shotlink is in charge of it. It seems like Shotlink's having problems right now.
It's a tough scene.
This is where live comes into play. All that live money. This is one of the things that if you're going to sell your soul to live and get them and put Yasser on the board, make him the chairman of the board with a new merge tour, whatever it is, some of that money needs to be allocated to stuff that, and I get why we can't see every shot and we don't get shot tracker at every course because it's too expensive. But now you have a guy who's just like writing checks.
Yeah.
At least put some of that money to this.
Yeah, we should be getting like golden drones attached to every group. Like, I don't want to hear it. You saw me, yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to get into the live stuff, but get me good shot tracker. That would go a long way in me paying attention because I never pay attention.
You could do that. And like, I think we've talked through like different versions of this over the years that I think you could have a radio feed that is like kind of like following the players that you want that I think people might be into. It's not as good. I mean, just put a fucking camera on that guy's hat or something. Yeah. Well, he's doing the broadcast, then you're good to go. Then you can watch it. Or it would take more course scouting because I know a couple of people who like go and work for Shotlink and go do all this stuff. And they're like, yeah, sometimes the facilities don't have like the right power grid for us to go to, or like Wi-Fi in the area because it's so remote is so bad that like stuff doesn't correlate. Like it needs to be a certain speed for us to upload at a certain speed. Like just little things that you would never think about from any of that. But if you could set up like poles on the course, like there's trees on the course anyway, but set up like skinny poles with either drones or some sort of like fisheye camera, like for certain segments all the way down. Like if you had one on the 100 yards down on the right-hand side, then another 100 yards down on the left-hand side, or attach them to trees or whatever, and you had like 3 of these cheap cameras up the fairway, well, then you could almost like comp together a live shot and then just have a bird's eye view of the green and like kind of the surrounding areas. It doesn't need commentary. It doesn't even fucking need sound. Just I can click on it. Hey, what's going on the 13th green? Boom. There's my guys. What's going on? I like squint a little bit and I can see it.
That would be, I mean, it doesn't seem, I don't know what I'm talking about, but it doesn't seem that complicated.
That seems complicated to set up because you would need to scout all the courses, but that's like the rinky-dink cheapest possible version of what you can do. Although, if you had bad Wi-Fi at the course, then none of that would work.
If they can figure it out. I'm team figure it out. Yeah, I guess some of these places are a little like remote, I guess you could say. I never think about stuff like that, to be honest. But shot tracker is rough right now. You can't even sweat this tournament. This is an unsweatable tournament.
Well, as I was telling you, and I think you noticed it too. I was talking to someone else, and they noticed the same thing. Like numbers, like content-wise, like it was hard to fill. The Listeners League is never hard to fill. It was hard to fill this week. Numbers for the shows, like downloads, views, they were just down versus last week. And we won money last week. Usually that means a big boost. Like, hey, Pat won money. Like, let me tune in to see if we can ride a heater or something like that. No, people are like, fuck this tournament. It's terrible.
Yeah, and then next week's Wednesday, right?
But every turn, like that becomes a problem because people don't understand that it starts on a Wednesday. I actively told them, like, make the Listeners League smaller next week because there's going to be 50% of people who don't realize that it starts on Wednesday. No matter how many times that we say the Farmers Insurance Open starts on a Wednesday, people will just inevitably tune out. Now, if I didn't work in content and someone told me that and I was just kind of a fan, I would probably tune it out as well and just kind of forget. But Sentry, Sony, Amex, Farmers should all start those first 4 tournaments of the year.
All start on Wednesday.
All start on Wednesday. And then we get to Pebble when there's no football. Then we can start it on Thursday.
Yeah.
Like, why is that so hard?
It's not. Yeah, it's true. I mean, on Sundays, I'm just not thinking about golf. Even like I caught the last couple holes just to see my soul ripped out, and that was about it. Like I didn't. It's just hard when football's on.
Your guy Griot helped me win 10K or 5K.
Well, that's good.
He was on
rarely that doesn't. Griot and helping don't normally go together. I had a pretty good week too, but that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever won like at that size of a GPP before. So I was like, all right, let's roll. Actually, no, I won the PME Open one time. That had 5. No, that only had like 3,000 people in it. So winning a 6,000 person tournament, it's like, hey, here we go.
Yeah, that'll fly.
Griot, Bhatia, posted. Ben Ann, all the guys. All the guys who stole my money all those years finally paid me back.
Starting to chip away.
Here we are. All right, Raza, thanks for being on, man.
Of course, anytime.
That Mayo experience. Experience.